All righty, got it and done. All right, y'all. Peace and greetings to y'all. Namaste. Namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco at Northwestern Maxim. How are you? Welcome, guys, to our AstroCivics Sunday Holy Quran. This is number 48, actually. AstroCivics Sunday 48. The Holy Quran Devotional Countdown, right? As we started at chapter 48 and counting down the chapters, we're now at chapter 26, all right? And we're going to jump right into this. We're going to do our invocation in. I'm going to share the screen right now to display our invocation in, right? And it is there, right? Moor's Holy Temple of Science, Administrative Functions, pages 48 and 49, of course, right? As we can see, handsomely standing due guard is our beloved Prophet Noble Drew Ali and his Moor Sharif Fez and Abba, right? And also, here is our invocation in terms of Moorish American prayer, all right? Now, we're going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index in the middle on the right. We're going to have our feet on a 45-degree angle, just like how Prophet Noble Drew Ali has his feet there. And we're going to face directional east, which is symbolic metaphysically to going within. And you can repeat after me either aloud or in your heart. Islam, Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Ameen. All righty, y'all. Let's get into the 2 letters to be read in every meeting before we get started on chapter 26, Holy Instructions for Unity, all right? So I'm going to go here, still in administrative functions. We're at pages 84 and 85, all right? The following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. Administrative functions, Moor Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603 Indiana Avenue, Noble Drew Ali, founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929. Be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear brother, Islam, I'm glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy, quote unquote, about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds, the ones that pay their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. This is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my, quote, fame and nobility, end quote, period. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish Divine National Movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Noble Drew Ali. And now we're moving on to the Moorish literature excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper, pages 12 and 13. And again, on page 12, we see handsomely standing Dugard in his Moorish Sharif Fez and Abba, right? I'm gonna double check that because I'm pretty sure that's the Abba that he's wearing, or is it a bolero? I'm gonna double check just to make sure. But he's there on page 12. And here is divine warning by the Prophet Noble Drali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets, and the internet too, guys. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the laws laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn their card and button to cease wearing their turban and fez and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And today, for our Holy Quran devotional countdown, we're at chapter 26, Holy Instructions of Unity. All righty. And there's only 10 minutes, as we can see, right? 1 through 10 minutes within this 26th degree, or 10 verses for those that need to hear it like that. 10 verses within chapter 26, right? So let's zoom in on this and go on in, guys. The gifts pertaining to the understanding. Remember, understanding is upholding. The gifts of the understanding are the treasures of Allah. And remember, for me, according to my studies thus far, Allah is all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac. So the gifts pertaining to the upholding is to stand under, understand, one is upholding. Those are the treasures pertaining to all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac. And he, right, which is mother principle in action, right? The mother principle in action is he. Appointed to everyone his portion, right? So you have your active portion in which, in what measure seems good to those that are active, right? Good unto himself. Hath he endowed thee with wisdom? Has mother's principle in action endowed you with wisdom? Endowed you with wisdom, right? Or thee, right? Another way of saying you, right? However, I'm saying ye as a mean. When you guys do hear me say that, it is a means to just get the curiosities going so people will have the mindset to not think statutorily, right? Not you as defined in like the Code of Federal Regulations or within contracting. Has he endowed thee with wisdom? Has he enlightened your mind? Hath he enlightened thy mind, right? Has he enlightened your mind, right? Has mother's principle in action enlightened your mind? With the knowledge pertaining to truth? If so, right, then communicate it to the ignorant for their instruction. And do the same with that wisdom and knowledge by communicating it to the wise for my own improvement. Right? So you communicate the wisdom and the knowledge pertaining to truth to the ignorant for their instructions. However, you communicate the same to the wise for your own improvement. True wisdom is less presuming than folly. true wisdom. The wise mind, because the man is mind, the wise mind doubts often. Doubt F, like F is like S, right? The wise man doubts often and changes his mind, right? Doubts often and changes his mind. So that's the wise man, right? However, the fool is obstinate and doubts not. He knows all things, but his own ignorance. And that's why we communicate wisdom and knowledge pertaining to truth to the ignorant for their instruction. And what's interesting is, I know I've said it before, and I trust people weren't upset. However, if you look at even most of the chapters are holy instructions, which Prophet Noble Ali in the 20s is expressing, in the 1920s, is expressing clarity, full clarity that he knows he's speaking to an ignorant people. They lack knowledge. They were illiterate, most of them. And so overall, the people overall are in that condition. And so they need instructions. And then once ye are wise yourself, you communicate these things to other wise beings for your own improvement. Trust that makes sense, right? Trust that makes a boatload of sense to you guys, right? So that was just the first three, right? Just the first three, right? Now moving forward, number 4, the pride of emptiness, the pride pertaining to emptiness is an abomination. And to talk much is the foolishness pertaining to folly. Nevertheless, it is the part of wisdom. It is the part pertaining to wisdom to hear with patience their impertinence and to pity their absurdity, those that are ignorant. Right? Hearing. It says hear. Hearing is a sense. Listening is a skill. Wise people will use their sense with patience. They're going to hear the impertinence pertaining to the ignorant. What's impertinence? Go to etymolonline.com and start there if you don't have etymological references. And pity their absurdity. It is the part of wisdom to hear with patience their impertinence. It is the part of wisdom to pity their absurdity. Number 5. Yet, be not puffed up in your own conceit. So I'm not to be puffed up in my own conceit. Neither boast. I am to also not boast of superior understanding or pertaining to superior understanding. I can tell the truth about it. I'm not going to boast. The clearest human knowledge is but blindness and folly. So one could think, well, what do you mean the clearest human knowledge? Well, because at the end of the day, things are infinite. And in that infinite experience, things are ever changing. Wise man changes his mind often, right? The wise man, this is number 6, the wise mind feels his imperfections and is humble. He labors in vain for his own approbation, but the fool peeps in the shadow stream of his own mind and is pleased with the pebbles which he sees at the bottom. He brings them up and shows them as pearls, like he's dropping jewels, and with the applause of his brethren, delights himself. I was like, yeah, man, they don't do that. Yeah, that's right, man. Give me props. It's kind of how that goes, right? Peaceful greetings, beloved mother. The Sahara says, peaceful greetings, Brother Hasan and Brother Sean. Indeed. All right. He boasts, right, of attainments in things that are not of worth, but where it is a shame to be ignorant, there he has no understanding. So that's continuing to speak on the fool. Even in the path of wisdom, he toils after folly. And shame and disappointment are the reward pertaining to his labor. But the wise mind cultivates his mind with knowledge. The improvement pertaining to the arts is his delight. And their utility, right? The arts, the knowledge in the arts, utility to the public crowns with honor. Nevertheless, the attainment of virtue he accounts as the highest learning. The attainment of virtue he accounts as the highest learning. It's a nice house right there. And the science pertaining to happiness is the study pertaining to my life. Right? A lot of times you can take these things and read them as if it's you speaking it or applying it to yourself. Being in one's lower self, you will be in a position pertaining to the fool. Being in one's higher self, you will be in the position pertaining to the wise mind. Right? So, Brother C. Thomas, Islam to you also, peaceful greetings. All right. So, number 6, right? When we says the wise man feels his imperfections, so that means he's conscious of things, and it's like, okay, well, let me be in masterful control pertaining to oneself, so that I don't have to miss my own shortcomings or weaknesses to work on, or sums to solve. Right? And I encourage you all to go to etamonline.com to get the etymology. If you wanted to know real quick, approbation, right? It's interesting. So he labors in vain. A wise man labors in vain for his own approval and praise. He's not looking for his brethren to delight him. He's just doing his best to make himself happy. Just wanted to point that out. Right? That's why when he's not making himself feel too great, he can feel his own imperfections. And it's like, I got to go back to the drawing board on that, which is quote unquote humbling. Right? Any questions, comments, and/or suggestions, guys? Questions, comments, and/or suggestions. Told you this one was going to be brief. You guys already know we have something going on every Saturday. The Saturday coming up, it's the 23rd, the 30th of September, the 7th and 14th of October. Self-healing and community building workshop. All right. You guys know it is 75 units in lieu of lawful money via CashApp for each Saturday. Each Saturday, 75 units. All right. Those of you that are TUPAC members, the video recordings will be no extra cost. If you want to donate, you can. No extra transaction for Eleanor's night tuition on your part. However, those that aren't members, on top of the 75 times 4, it'll be 60 for the recording. All right. So for those of you that aren't members, it will be 360 units in lieu of lawful money. All right. Now, with that being said, I'm going to stop the screen here. Any questions, comments, and/or suggestions going once? Questions, comments, and/or suggestions going twice. Right? You can catch Seven Hills Star next day, right? For Intuition Monday. We're going to have a really awesome, fun time with that. It's going to be, I think, the full moon in Aries energy is what we're going off of, right? Trust you all enjoyed this Ashkenazim celebrated holiday called Rosh Hashanah, right? The head of the year, right? For those that, look at it that way, and you're celebrating Tishri, right? And being able to observe the sky, right? The sky where Aries is about, it's really Pisces at this moment, right? To be completely honest with you, right? Tishri is taking place as far as being able to see the sky, considering where the, tropically speaking, we're looking at Piscean constellations, Piscean Aquarian constellations, right? So with that being said, let's see. Brother C. Thomas says that he was listening last night. He says it's imperative to hear others, and that does not mean we promote others, and that was a learning curve for him that helped him accept truth. A lot more on that, but not at the time. Okay. Indeed. Yeah, we just, 2, 3 in the morning. It was just, I was just on TikTok. Well, it was a little before that, maybe an hour or 2, hour and a half before that. And, Saw McReal, from Lawful Living was live with some beings there. And then just recognized that, no, we didn't. I didn't know who those other beings were or whatever. I was just giving you guys, background on how we end up live, like 3 o'clock in the morning, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, excuse me. All right. That's why I know I'm going to have to make sure I get some more rest and recharge. I know I got a few other things to do now. However, with that being said, it was, I do like to, listen, you know what I'm saying? At least hear, you know what I mean? And allow myself to turn the hearing into listening when I go back to analyze what was actually being said, so that I do not carry myself as one who is dogmatically Moorish American, I like to be in harmony as best as I can with having Prophet Noble Drowley in the forefront pertaining to my mind so that I can actually be what I know without being in disharmony with being universal. All right. So, with that being said, Brother Seven, Judah Bilal Bey says, peace and love, indeed, indeed. So, we're going to do our invocation out here, y'all, right? Going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand is the index in the middle on the right. Guys, remember, we got a lot going on, doing a lot of advertisement at our Instagram. So, go to 7 Hill Star Instagram, all right, or our Astrology Street Instagram. Check these things on our things that we're advertising, right? You already know I'm not hard to approach. A lot of you guys got the number 443-376-8764 where you can contact me, text, or we can even get on the phone. You want to, hey man, what you got going up? You know what I mean, going on, next things that are happening, you know, you can reach out to me and we can make sure that things are arranged appropriately. Always, first and foremost, and this will always be my introductory thing, get ye mirror AstroLiteracy session with me, all right, so that you can really set even more in order, knowing thyself and thy Father God Allah, man, which is mine. Know thyself, know yourself, and thy is your Father. Father is the process which Mother chose. God is to call upon Allah, all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac. So mind, know yourself in the process which Mother chose to call upon all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac. All right. And so it is my give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime kind of session that I give when it comes to the self-reflection session, term the Mirror AstroLiteracy session. And I thank you all so much for joining me, all right, and interacting in the chat. Islam, Brother Seven. Extend all 5 appendages on the left hand is the index in the middle on the right. East, for where I am right now, is behind me. So I'm going to face east with my feet on a 45-degree angle. All righty. And I will have my hands, you know, up appropriately. Right? And you can repeat after me either aloud or in your heart. Islam. Islam, Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, noble, true, Ali. Ameen. All right, guys. Indeed, indeed. Excelente, excelente. I appreciate you all for joining me. Make sure you enjoy whatever victuals, right? Whatever sustenance you're going to enjoy this evening. And when you rest and recharge, make sure you rest and recharge well. No more questions, comments, and or suggestions going thrice. Mother Sahar says peace and love. Indeed, this is where I say to y'all, I love you. And make sure, first and foremost, you're loving yourself so that your cup can runneth over with love for others. It's where I say to y'all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace and love.